on our second segment, talking about our 11 to 20 portions of our power rankings here with the MLB. We do this every Friday here, so if you want to talk along in the comments for the live stream or the YouTube video, please let me know, and I'll be sure to answer. Before you go into the second segment, though, I'd like to ask you again to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers to ensure that your question does get read in the air. Please use the link at gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get into our second segment here, which of course is continuing the first segment, which is our 11 to 20 portions of our power rankings. So yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with number 11, we have a team that has rose very much over this past week. A team I did a segment on this week as well, the Houston Astros. Now, the Astros, as I consider it, were one of the biggest disappointments I've seen in a long, long time for a team. Had a lot of expectations going into this year. Were one game away from winning the AL pennant last year. Then added a lot in the offseason with guys like Josh Hader coming into the team, and were third or fourth or fifth in this division for a long, long time. Really were underwhelming, but have done a lot better recently, getting closer and closer to 500, and a lot is going right for this team right now. The pitching is working. Hunter Brown is doing very well. Ronald Blanco has been very solid. Framber Valdez is, of course, Framber Valdez. So a lot of talent here in this Astros team that I think is finally coming together. And overall, if I'm an Astros fan, I'd be excited really for the first time this year. And I think there's a ton to like and a ton of talent right now to see. So yeah, I have the Astros here at number 11, a huge, huge riser for this year. Number 12, I have another riser, the New York Mets. I think that the Mets here at number 12 is a very fair placement no matter what anyone has said. Just swept the Yankees, swept the Padres a little while ago, took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs, took 2 out of 3 from the Rangers, have not lost series since scrimmage throughout the first pitch. We all know about the storyline by now. This is an absolutely fantastic team, playing together, playing well. I mean, if you've seen the videos off the field of them just having a great time, vibing to their teammate Jose Iglesias' song, OMG. I mean, it's just the team is together right now. They're doing a lot of good stuff, and the hitting has just been absolutely fantastic. The pitching is holding it down, and yeah, this team looks fantastic right now. One of the best teams in the NL currently, maybe the hottest team in the entire league with how well they've done. And man, check their numbers when Francisco Alvarez is in the lineup. It is a very, very different team when he's here and when he's not. A fantastic, fantastic team. Number 13, I have another NL team, the San Diego Padres. Padres have a ton of talent. I mean, this pitching staff is really great with Dylan Cease, Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish, Michael King, Matt Waldron. The problem is they need to stay healthy. Darvish and Musgrove have been on and off the IL the entire year, and when they're on the IL, this pitching staff really does not have enough depth to really survive. But this lineup is still fantastic. Guys like Jake Cronenworth, Jackson Merrill, Fernando Tatis, of course, Ha-Sung Kim, Jurickson Profar is having a fantastic season. So a lot to like here still for this Padres team. Really, really fantastic, and I do have them here at number 13 for the Power Rankings. Number 14, I have from the AL, another surprising team this year, the Boston Red Sox. I did a segment on them as well, really about Jarren Duran, but I tied them into it as well. But yeah, this Boston team has been fantastic. I talked about in the offseason how I really did not think much of them. I thought they would be a very disappointing team this year. Not a team I expected to do much, and, well, they've been really, really great. I mean, they've been really, really great. This pitching staff has been absolutely fantastic with guys like Nick Pivetta, Tanner Houck really breaking out. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. You've had some disappointments like Brian Bayo, but the way that these other guys have been able to break out and continuously be very good has been a big part of this Red Sox team, and they've been absolutely fantastic. The lineup, of course, has a ton of great pieces, with Connor Wong and Jarren Duran being breakouts for this team. Rafael Devers, of course, being here. Tyler O'Neill being fantastic. So a lot to like about this Red Sox team right now. There's a ton of talent doing very, very well this year, and I do have them here at number 14. This offseason was very underwhelming for them. I thought they would get a big piece, but they didn't, and right now it's looking like they didn't really need to, and this team has been absolutely fantastic, and I do have them here at number 14. Number 15 here, I have the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals are a very interesting team. Somehow they're in the wild card right now. I don't know how. I still think they're a solid team, but I just don't think they're better than some other teams on this list. But Yeah, they're a very interesting team. Their pitching staff is very, very flawed. I don't know how they can continue to throw out Miles Michaelis for starts. I mean, yesterday he was just so horrible versus the Reds. I believe they gave up double-digit runs, so it was just absolutely awful. His ERA is in the high fives. I don't know why they continue to throw him out, but overall, they still have a great ace on this team in Sonny Gray. Good mid-rotation arms like Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn, but really nothing special after Gray. The lineup still has a ton of talented guys like Wilson Contreras doing very well. Nolan Arenado's picked it up. Mason Wynn's been great. Brendan Donovan's been solid. So still a lot of talented players on this Cardinals team. It's just about putting it all together and getting your stars to perform. You really need Goldschmidt to perform like he's Goldschmidt for you to really do anything or be competitive, in my opinion. So really hoping for that to happen if you are a Cardinals fan, and definitely need to see that happening soon. Number 16 here, I have a bit of a disappointing team, maybe kind of what we expected, the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Rays are a very interesting team, as this entire year, I really did not expect them to do much with the pitching injuries they had. I kind of thought it would just be a retool year, see what you have in some of the young guys like Ryan Pepiot, Johnny Toluca, who you got from that big trade in Charlie Glasnow. But they've done pretty solid, or have been hovering around 500 the entire year, staying within close distance of the wild card, not really too close like where they could take it, but close enough that if they were going to go on a run, they could definitely strike. And yeah, this team still is very talented, has a ton of great guys like Isaac Paredes, Randy Arozarena, obviously some other guys as well. Pitching rotation is very solid with guys like Aaron Savali, Zach Eflin, Ryan Pepiot, really taking it of their rotation and doing very solid. So I do have them here. Just the pitching injuries, they really are tough to overcome. Jeffrey Springs and Shane Baz could potentially be back soon, which are going to be really, really big additions for this pitching staff, and hopefully will end up helping them a lot. Number 17, I have the Texas Rangers. The Rangers are a very interesting team. They're very talented, but really have not put it together this year. I think just a lot of their players have been very underwhelming. Pitching staff and offense as well, but they're defending world champions. I think they're going to be a lot better, and I still think there's a ton of talent here. Still think they're a very, very good team, and very excited to see what does end up happening with them this year, and what is going to be going on. Number 18, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks. I love the Diamondbacks team, but I did have to move them down just because I thought teams were simply better than them. Jordan Montgomery had a really rough start yesterday, which is not a positive sign for you guys. With all the pitching injuries you've had, guys like Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez, having Montgomery not come back to the guy he was supposed to be when you sign him is a really tough sign here. But I'm very much hoping that he can end up coming back to that form and end up being the guy that was so highly coveted by so many teams this offseason. Really hoping that can be true. But yeah, overall, this Diamondbacks team is still very talented. A ton of talented pieces on offense like Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, Gabby Moreno, Christian Walker. Will be very interesting to see what they do at this deadline. But I still think with all the talent they have, pitching should be back soon. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I still think they're an incredibly talented team. They're defending NL champions from last year. So overall, I still think this team is very, very good. And I will be watching them for the rest of the year, seeing what does happen. But did have to move them down because of performance. But I still think they're a very talented team and a lot to like here. Number 19, I have maybe a controversial pick, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I've talked about my love for the Pirates on the show a few times, whether that's me raving about Paul Skeens, just talking about this Pirates team as well. As I've talked about before, they have a nasty pitching rotation of guys like Paul Skeens, Jared Jones, Mitch Keller. That's a nasty, nasty top three. A lineup has some pieces like Connor Joe, like Brian Reynolds that have been very good and continue to be good for the future. Henry Davis also will be good, I think. So overall, this Pirates team is very solid. It's just about putting it together. This pitching staff is really, really great, and that really is the strong suit of this Pirates team. That is very, very good. And yeah, if I'm a Pirates fan, I'm really hopeful for the future with the guys like Skeen, like Jones, like Keller. And yeah, overall, I will be very excited to watch them for the future and very excited to see what is going to happen. Finally, here at number 20, the last team in this list, we have the San Francisco Giants. The Giants are a team I've been very confused about for this past year, and they've just been a very interesting team to follow. I thought if they just were mediocre till the trade deadline, they would be better, but obviously we're not going to see that yet. But yeah, they still have a ton of talent. Obviously a ton of talent on the injured list with guys like Alex Cobb and Robbie Ray, but pitching staff is still there. Jordan Hicks, who's been better, who's been, not better. I mean the opposite word actually. Struggled a little bit since being really good to start the year, but still has been a solid pitcher. Cal Harrison's been very good. Lineup has had some pieces like Mike Conforto, Elliot Ramos, Patrick Bailey, Lamont Wade really break out. So there's a lot of talent on this Giants team. They're in a tough NL West, so that really is hard, but still talent here. And with this NL wildcard being so packed together, I would not be surprised to see them differentiate themselves from the groups in the future. But overall, still very, very talented team. Will be interesting to see what does happen with them in the future and what is going to happen with them overall. So yeah, have them here at number 20. Sorry. So yeah, that is our second segment here, talking about our second portion of the power rankings, 11 to 20. We're moving into our third segment, which is going to be talking about 21 to 30. So just talking about these teams, and just our third segment of the power rankings. We'll see you after the break. So thanks and bye.
Looking